America, we need to talk about something that's becoming impossible to ignore. Not one attack, not one suspect, but two separate Afghan evacuees brought here under the same Biden era operation, Allies Welcome pipeline, committing or attempting violent acts within days of each other. And now we're seeing signs of something maybe larger, something organized, something intentional, something that demands a response before we wake up to a coordinated catastrophe. Tonight, I'm going to break this down. No emotion, just let's look at it with clarity. But understand this: what you're about to hear should make every American furious. So, to start off, now look, I'm not going to go deep on the DC shooter. We've already done that twice. This guy here, former CIA asset. Okay, you know the details. But what matters now is the consequence. The National Guard was deployed to DC, and they couldn't do a damn thing. Sarah Beckstrom's boyfriend said it clearly. They were out there present, but powerless. Listen to the man.
She just was also like, why am I here if I can't do nothing? Where they limited them so much, she's like, it's pointless. She's like, I get why we're here, crime's bad, but it's pointless if we can't do anything.
So what you have is no authority, no ability to act, no ability to stop violence. These soldiers were put in harm's way with their hands tied. This is the same thing bureaucrats did in Afghanistan. They got Americans killed. And that's important because the next case, the real story tonight, ties directly back to the personnel pipeline Biden rushed through without oversight, accountability, or vetting. Now, let's get into the real danger, okay? This Texas case isn't just alarming. It's the biggest national security red flag we've seen all year. A man brought here under Operation Allies Welcome, the same exact program as the DC shooter, was arrested in Texas for planning a mass casualty bombing. He wasn't subtle about it. He wasn't even hiding it. He was openly posting about it, threatening to blow up targets, talking about weapons, talking about violence, and talking about revenge. Post on social media. He came through a broken pipeline and landed in Texas, where he started planning attacks on U.S. soil. Okay.
News alert from Brooke Taylor. You won't believe this. DHS is confirming that an Afghan national was arrested Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. Mohammed Dawood Al-Okazai is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. According to DHS, listen to this. He came to the United States as part of Operation Allies Welcome. So here you have it. This happened Tuesday. Texas Department of Public Safety. This is a second Afghan national, second one this week. Operation Allies Welcome. He had a terror plot.
And you can point fingers all day. Biden brought him here unvetted. We know that, right? And people want you to believe this is a coincidence. I don't think it is, because now we had two violent individuals, both from the same rush evacuation program, both acting within days of each other. This confirms what anyone with any situational awareness already knew. We didn't import allies. We imported unknowns, some of whom came here with an agenda, grudges, or maybe handlers even, okay? And we have our one of Donald Trump's most loyal, the one he backs the most, Lindsey Graham, during that time period, said we need to bring him.
This is the right thing to do. There's no other ending that is acceptable to me. The people who were there with us in the fight that are here in America need to stay. This will be their new home. So we have a moral obligation to these people. They will make great citizens.
I'm not sure how much Lindsey Graham knows about morality, but this is where things get serious, okay? You don't get two extremists from the same program in the same week unless something is going on underneath the surface. This raises the question, are we dealing with spontaneous lone actors or an underground network already operating inside the United States. Okay. Let me give you the possibilities without speculation. Let's just basic logic. Possibility one, radicalized before arrival. Some of these evacuees were rushed through with little to no identity verification. They may have had extremist ties before stepping onto American soil. Two, radicalized after arrival. Someone could be recruiting them from within. Online networks, foreign agents, ideological cells, or even intelligence assets from our allies who have their own agendas. Remember, not every ally is a friend and not every enemy wears a patch. Okay. Number three, possible or purposeful insertion. A foreign government, friendly or hostile, could have slipped people into the evacuation pipeline intentionally. That's not sci-fi, man. That's espionage 101. Possibly four, a growing domestic cell. 2 attackers in a week from the same evacuee pool is not coincidence, guys. It's a pattern. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Patterns reveal infrastructure, right? And it could also be a case of the anarcho-tyranny we talk about. Patriots will scream for rights to be removed, for protection. The Patriot Act, anyone? I have a post on my phone. One of my viewers tagged me in of a patriot asking, hey, wouldn't it be good to have martial law for at least 90 days just to get these guys out? Can you imagine people actually asking for martial law? I'm going to do a whole dedicated video of this because this is a pattern I see. Because it's your team. You're willing to dismantle the Constitution. People scream. Weak, divided, and so on, and they scream for the rights to be taken away, right? And the question about this isn't are more out there. The question is how many and how organized. And we better move fast, guys, because once a cell establishes logistics, you're talking safe houses, communication channels, disrupting them becomes exponentially harder. Now this next one. Get to the part of media, hope nobody would notice. I did. The Texas bomber was labeled white male, not Middle Eastern, not Afghan, not anything accurate. They stamped that junk white. And if you've been watching this channel, you know this isn't a one-off. We have documented case after case where Black, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and mixed race offenders are labeled as white. They've been doing that since Biden admin. It's still happening now. This is done for one reason only, to inflate white crime statistics. So when you have politicians like Jasmine Crockett says white extremists are the biggest problem, she can wave around those cooked numbers like a prophecy.
If that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists. But we don't want to talk about that in this,
because maybe you're labeling them all white. That could be a problem, right? It's narrative warfare, man. Not data, not truth, not reality. It's manipulation. And let's break this down. When Crockett says white supremacists, she means white people. She admitted the subtext. Everyone knows the game. But the danger is bigger than her rhetoric, because gaslighting an entire population and believing one racial group is inherently violent leads to something in history that we've seen it before. Okay. I'm going to show you this guy here, Wajahat Ali, on camera, smug as ever, saying white people lost, brown people are taking over, and your culture sucks.
You lost. The mistake that you made is you let us in the first place. See, that's the thing with brown people. I'm going to say this as a brown person. There's a lot of us, like a lot. There's like 1.2 billion in India. There's more than 200 million in Pakistan. There's like 170 million in Bangladesh. Those are just the people there. I'm even talking about the folks who are expats or immigrants. There's a bunch of us, and we breed. We're a breeding people. And the problem is you let us in 1965. There were a few of us beforehand, but once you let one of us in, you know what happens with brown folks? Our grandmother comes, our grandfather comes, our uncle comes, our aunt comes, our cousin comes, our second cousin comes, our third cousin comes. Then we have kids, a bunch of kids. And then guess what? Some white women, you know, the Western civilization women, the pure women, the American women, quote unquote, the Rust Belt women, the real women, they like some of us brown folks. We don't take them. They come to us. So we're embedded. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. I've traveled this country. I'm going to speak as a brown person. Brown people are everywhere. There will be a Patel Motel or there will be a Desi restaurant everywhere. I want you to realize this. You lost. You have lost. Your story is a shitty story filled with misery. It's filled with bland chicken. It's filled with terrible, terrible dry ass meat. Your music sucks. All your culture sucks. Nobody. That's why the kids like listen to black people and their music. That's why the kids love Latinos. Your parties suck because they're monochromatic. Our parties have better food, better music, better look.
Imagine if, as a white person, you were to say something like this about another race. This isn't fringe. This is mainstream approved rhetoric. He believes the propaganda. He's rewarded for the propaganda. He's a product of engineered division. Okay, let me show you another case here.
To overcharge white people and organizations and do pro bono work for black orgs. And that's just me being very blunt. I will give them ridiculous rates, and then I'll have like a nonprofit or a black org or somebody doing some work, and they'll be like, I've only got this much money. And I'm like, keep it. A white person just cut me a check. Let's do this for free.
Imagine roles reversed. Let me be clear here. This is Balkans level rhetoric. You demonize a group long enough, you dehumanize them consistently enough. You convince the public that violence against them is justified. That's how ethnic cleansing starts. Not with bullets, but with language. We were in the villainization phase, and the people pushing this think they're on the good side. They aren't. They're tools. And tools get used until they break. But the dark truth is that too many America's left, right, everybody in between have swallowed the division narrative whole. One side believes white people are the enemy. The other side believes every outsider is a terrorist. Both sides are being engineered to hate each other, to fear each other, and to expect the worst of each other. This isn't organic. This isn't grassroots. This isn't the natural evolution of a diverse society. Here's Mark Kelly saying, when I heard the secretary say they're going to pause immigration from the third world countries, I take that as a message they don't want brown people coming to the U.S.
When I heard the secretary say that they're going to pause immigration from third world countries, I mean, I take that as a message that they don't want brown people coming to the United States. And I find that disturbing. We are a country that has always welcomed individuals that are struggling, that are fleeing famine and violence. And it would be a fundamental change to the fabric of our nation to change that. When I heard the...
So you see this, guys, this isn't organic. This isn't grassroots. This isn't the natural evolution of a diverse society. This is what you call orchestrated division. And the people orchestrating it, they're not out in the streets. They're sitting comfortably behind desks in studios, in offices, and in government seats. They stir the pot. You live with the fallout, right? You're riding on a subway somewhere, and then you got to deal with this. Division. People hating you just because you exist. And then the other group hates because they're hated. You see, divided people are easier to control. Everybody loves to be a victim. Everybody in the world loves to be a victim, and they get coddled. Everybody wants that. Except for strong people. Strong people don't want to be victims, right? Look, in this country, this unstable. It's unstable. I know you can still go pick up McDonald's. I know you can go to the movies, but it's unstable, right? You can't be soft in this day and age, right? Let me highlight this real quick, just because my boys over there hooked us up. I've been working with Black Force supplements for a long time, guys. I sell supplements. I sell them. So in real world, they're competition to me, but I don't care because it works, right? It's there. I know these guys. This isn't corporate garbage, not flashy labels, no fake influencer hype, just clean, effective formulas that make you stronger, sharper, and harder to kill. I take this stuff because I train for real life, guys. I don't care about flexing on Instagram. I'm not doing photo shoots for Instagram. I'm training because you see what's out there. You see what's out there. You got to be hard to kill. When the world gets unpredictable, the one thing you can control is your physical readiness. Okay. Now, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs about these cocoa flavonols. Really, it's the first of its kind. Those flavonols are what activates your stem cells. This product's made in the USA, right? There's chocolate, and then there's the ceremonial cocoa, and then there's cocoa flavonols. The other two aren't even in the same league. This is the undisputed champ when it comes to cocoa powders, and it's not even close. Okay. Black Force cocoa flavonols and flavonoids, they take the finest cocoa and they extract it, the flavonols out of it, into 1,200 milligram clinical dose. Okay. Listen to this guy here.
End of one of the best medicines around is 50 grams, 100 grams of 75% or more dark chocolate. Brain health as well, cardiovascular health. They do studies where they've put cocoa into volunteers, that means students usually, so young.
It's always students.
Kids, and they were able to show changes in the blood flow within minutes, certainly within an hour of eating cocoa. Beneficial changes in your blood flow.
So you heard the man. Again, I put in my coffee every morning, mix it in. All right. I was having a lot of pain in my shoulder from all those years of doing that flat bench press. That'll destroy your shoulders. That I was starting to get a little worried. But I started putting that in my morning coffee because I read the studies, but I had no idea it was going to end up doing to my shoulder. I'm back as good as gold, back how I used to be, lifting freaking 225 for, sets of 12. And man, honestly, it feels really good. I'm old, beat up, everything starts to hurt, right? But your stem cells need a wake-up call. So Black Force just launched their biggest deal of the year, and it's insane. Buy one, get one free on the entire store, plus an extra free bottle of NMN with every order. Yes, every single order gets bonus NMN on top of that full BOGO. This ends in 48 hours, and when it's over, it's gone for good. Cocoa prices have been skyrocketing worldwide over the last few months, so I don't expect the prices to be cheap ever again, guys. But so if you've been thinking about trying it, you got 48 hours. This promo is going to be gone. Okay, so stock up before it's gone forever. Take control of your health before Big Pharma does. Okay. But we're living in a country importing instability, mislabeling threats, and manufacturing racial division. And narco-tyranny, I've been talking about this stuff for years. It's a system. It's a way to control, divide and control and conquer. It's not a mistake. This is a strategy. You can't stop the world from getting chaotic. Okay. You can't. You can't stop the political class from lying, right? You can't stop the media from stoking hatred. You can control what you consume, though. If you're one of those guys out there watching right now that you're on the line, that you're letting this division control your mindset and your narrative, understand what a psyop is and what the reason for it, a psychological operation or propaganda, the reason for it is. And if you can't speak against it, right? If you can't speak against it without being called a racist, then you know you're in a propaganda psychological operation. If you can't speak against something, remember the coof you said about the mask. If you can't speak against something, that means you're in a full-fledged psychological operation. You can't control your readiness. You can control your awareness, your strength, and you can refuse to fall for the division they're selling. Because at the end of the day, man, it's not left versus right. It's not white versus brown. It's the public versus the people manipulating the public. That's what it is. We are in different classes, and they want to control us, guys. And like the manipulating of the stats, you're seeing that happen real time. It just happened again. A few years ago, I did a video where I showed about 40 people of all different colors that were not white, labeled as white. They've been doing this for years, so they can demonize one group of people, right? Because that's how the world always works. And it's your job to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Black Scout out.